Ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor of doing an interview today with Mr. Johannesburg. He's the famous principal of Orefile Primary from Bos, and it's really a privilege to share this space with him. Knowing Mr. Skutsana, I have to remind him that we are under strict time limit for your answers. Paul, just to start and give us a bit more background about yourself. Knowing you as the energetic, outgoing, not giving up person that you are, why have you decided to become a teacher and not a rich businessman or a lawyer or a farmer or something fancy?
Right, how are you, Auntie?
I'm well, thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. Right, this one seems like it's a routine question or rather an easy question, but when you look deep into it, you'll find that it has got so many factors which maybe influence one's decision to become whatever you want to be, not to become a farmer or an entrepreneur. It's because you're influenced by the people around you. Because when we are growing up, the people who are influencing us were actually those who've got power, and those who've got power are maybe tsotis, see. They've got knives, they can do whatever, and then they're driving fancy cars. So, because if you are a boy, you want to own that car and so on. And again, in other words, people just have got power. But because if you are at school, they don't teach you to be a tzotsi and so on. So they teach you to have that decent job. So you're looking for people who've got maybe that decent job, but who've got power. And in our situation, we were exposed to being a police. They've got guns, which is power. The soldiers and teachers because they can whip you. And those days, you see, a corporal punishment was actually teachers were competing who can lash at the whole class 10 lashes, and they were proud of that, you see. And then we're the victim, so it was sort of like good to say, no, if I can't be a police, I'd rather be a soldier or a teacher, so that I can have this power. But as one sort of grows older, then you start now to eliminate what you think that you are not capable to, and some other things now that we're growing, because we were now open to some things that we were not open to. They started changing. But ultimately, I could just feel it inside that nobody. Being a teacher seeming safe and good for me. So that's why I decided to become a teacher.
That's a beautiful answer. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, why have you decided to become part of PFP and to go on the journey?
Yeah, and again here, there was this little, I just forgotten her name. She kept on phoning, and that time,
Carol.
Carol, yes, Carol. She kept on phoning, and I was just 2 years being a headmaster. So I was kind of like still learning the ropes, because now of late what the department does, they'll take you to different courses and so on. So I attended another one at UP. So it was, you find that most cases I'm now out of the school, they sort of training us. So now Carol came after phoning several times, then came. Now there is this PFP, have you ever heard of this and so on? Fortunately enough, the previous school where I was working, the headmaster there was in this program. But I was sort of scared because the headmaster that I worked under during that time was complaining a lot. This thing is taking our time. It's as if now we are a student. So it was, but some days he will call us and say, I'm from this program of PFP. I've learned 1, 2, 3, so I want to share with you. So I had an idea, but a scary one of PFP. Yeah. So when Carol came, but what she did, what I like about her, she sort of outlined the objectives, the aims, the goals of PFP. and I was sort of intrigued by the objective, the goals and aims. But then she said,
5 minutes.
I need dedication from you. You must just be dedicated. You are not going to drop off along the road. So I was sort of intrigued by the aims and goals of this. That's why I joined. Yes.
Just briefly, we were unfortunately challenged, so we weren't allowed to share pictures of the school with you today. But just briefly, for the benefit of the rest of the partnerships, tell us about the challenges that you currently have at the school. I've been there, and I mean, there's many, but say your top 3 challenges at the school.
All right, I'm going to be short now. Someone said 5 minutes. That's my weak point. Right, so some colleagues, they call our school, they say, Mooi van veraf. I think Leah can attest to that, and even yourself, because when you go there, what a beautiful school. What a beautiful school. But the moment you are inside there, you say, whoa, it's horrible. That's this issue. Mooi van veraf. The ceiling is falling. There is burglary. When you open the sort of the record book, which you call the logbook, whereby we write incident and so on, burglary. It's if there's no burglary, I become bored. I take the book, I just write burglary because it's kind of like a happening time in a game. So it's sort of stress is one, you see, and but we don't sit back. We write to the department, we request, and what is the department does? They send people to assess. Again, you put pressure, and then they send people to assess. And like you're saying, the aim was to show the school here. But I said, hey, knowing our department, let me just consult with them. Then I said, hey, Mrs. Kosa, you know the protocol. You must write to the MEC, to HOD, to get permission to do that. So that is why we couldn't show what you wanted it to show. So I had to follow the protocols. But all in all, it's just the falling ceiling, which is a major one, and backlash. Yes, yeah, that's our challenges. Yes.
And after this journey, what would you do differently as a leader at the school?
Yeah, here I've learned a lot, like to become in this situation, because I was sharing with a colleague who just left and even knew that is, our school is in another location whereby there's a lot of things. In one of the mass meeting, one parent just raised up the hand, and out of the agenda, principal, where is that 1 million that you stole? And there were people say, stole it. So and by that time I was not part of this program, but I was able to handle the situation. But when I reflect, I said, I should have handled it better. You see? So that's why I'm saying I've just learned a lot from this program. Yes.
Okay, and going forward, do you think, how do you see the future of the partnership? Have you got plans in continuing?
Oh, yeah. It's, all in all is me and you agreed that that we're going to continue this partnership. Yeah, because there are things that we've planned, teacher development, because the major challenge is parents' involvement. Our parents are not involved. They don't come, but you just make a mistake. Here you see them. They are good in that one. So the programs that we're talking about, the two of us, is how to conscientize them to come to school, even so that they contribute maybe positively, not to always come to and complain and so on. So we are definitely going to continue this partnership. Thank you, Auntie.
Thank you. Just from my side, half a second to just there's a lot about Buzani that I really admire. But what I really appreciate about you is, I think the one thing that stands out for me is that one day I saw those ceilings and I was so angry. Nah? And I wanted to phone carte blanche and get the whole crew in, and no, really, we must do something about this. And he was so calm, and he just keeps writing letters, and one day they're going to get tired and they're going to come and fix it. But he said to me, I don't want to be anywhere else. This is the school where I want to be, and this is where I want to see things happen. And he's humble and he's energized. He's never negative. He is the most positive person and a true friend. And I really appreciate that. Thank you very much.